Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zolotech, and these are the top 10 iPhone apps you'll actually use. These apps were picked basically because they're things I use and I've seen a lot of other people use online as well. And these also will apply to many Android users as well. Most of these apps are available on both. Not all, but most. So the first app I had to pick was Waze. Now everybody uses a map app, or at least the majority do. They either use Google Maps or Apple Maps, or Waze, or some other map. Now, Google owns Waze, and Waze is a little bit different in that it's crowdsourced information. So that means it's real time based on the people in your area. It works best in larger cities where more people are using it. And by hitting this button here, we can notify others of all of these different things. Gas prices, traffic, police, accidents, hazard, map issues, all sorts of things. It's really quite nice and it works really well. And as you're approaching something on your route, it'll say there's an accident and you can actually give it a thumbs up to let it know it's still there or thank somebody based on whatever thing is there. So it's really nice. It finds the same routes just like Google Maps would, and also gives all sorts of things at locations. You can see there's some Starbucks there. Not sure what this is. It looks like a BP gas station, some Panera Bread. It just gives all these different locations. Basically, all the information you get in Google Maps, plus the crowdsourcing filled in with it. It's really nice, works well, and will also anticipate when you're going home, especially if you're on the Android side. It'll let you know, hey, it's time to go home or whatever. Why there's a Ghostbusters symbol, I'm not sure, but maybe that's a movie advertisement. And it is an advertisement. So you do get those in here as well as other fun voices that show up from time to time. The next app is, most people have some sort of news app, and I find that the majority of people like Flipboard. And Flipboard is a great application. You can set it up with all sorts of different news applications that you want, or news feeds, and just flip through them. I follow a lot of tech news, mostly just tech news. You just flip through them, and as you go through, if you pick one, it opens the article, and you can scroll through the article by flipping. It's really nice, works really well, and it's free. And the majority of these apps are also going to be free. Now, if we go back to the home screen, the next app is a journaling app, and there's actually a newer version to it, and I think I put it in utilities. I prefer this particular one, Day One. So if we go into Day One, I'm not going to go into my timeline, but you can see there's 288 entries. And when you make a new entry, it actually stamps when the entry was made. Let me go ahead and hit the plus button. And you'll see we're in the timeline here, and I can type what's here. I can put a stamp where I was, what the temperature was, take a photo. It's really nice, and just throw in tags and everything. And it keeps a chronological order of all of your different journal entries. So if you like to journal, or you want to put something into a journal or a memory, it's a great way to keep track of that. They do have a new app called Day One 2. And I think this is a $1 to $5 app. I don't really remember. It's on the iPhone and iPad, and it works really well, and I definitely recommend checking it out. I know they were giving it away free for some time as well. And this is actually the first version. I didn't upgrade to the new one. So it's really great for journaling, and I've used it for years, and it's been around and very well supported. The next application is actually in my utilities as well, and I have it kind of buried here because I use its extension throughout Safari and things like that to save articles, and that's Pocket. So while I'm looking through articles, there might be something that interests me, like this Inside One of the World's Most Secretive iPhone Factories article. And this is about Apple's factory. It was a pretty neat article I found, and I wanted to save it so I could read it later. I keep ideas in here, things like that, and it's got some recommended notifications and then your profile. And what's great is it syncs across everything. There's a web version. You've got Android, iPhone, Windows, Mac, whatever you want. You can probably get the extension for it and use it through a browser. It's really great, and you just click save and it saves it to Pocket, and you keep going until you have time to read it. Really great free application. The next application has to do with viewing memories. Now, I know Photos is going to do this in iOS 10. Google Photos does this. Facebook is starting to do this. But Memoir is an app I've been using quite a while. It ties into all of those social media sites that you can allow it to, and saves your memories. So here's a memory from 4 years ago when I took a picture of the HTC Droid Incredible box and shared it on social media. And it doesn't seem like... Well, I guess 4 years ago was a long time, and that was a decent phone back in the day. I think terrible battery life, if I remember right. But anyway, it was shared here, and it's something I took a long time ago. And you'll see here's something I said. Bentley apparently invited me to the Concours d'Elegance in Pebble Beach. Would have loved to go, but I couldn't. 6 years ago. So it's pretty nice. And you've got all sorts of things. It just saves memories of things you put many years ago. So that would have been nice to go to, but you get the idea, I think, and it backs up all your memories, or really just takes all your memories and shares them with you every so often. Every few days, one will pop up in notifications and you'll get to read it. It's really pretty nice. The next one is my favorite podcasting app, and that's Overcast. Now this is, I think this might be a free model, paid model, or a free model. When I paid for this, but it was really worth it. It's basically a podcasting app, works really well, and I paid for the extra features, which do things like normalize the audio, so it keeps the audio from going too low or too loud or too soft or loud. It kind of keeps it up where it needs to be. It can skip when there's gaps. It has all sorts of really nice features. It's very simple and very Apple-like. You'll see it's just very clean and really great. You can go into effects. If I hit it there right, you go into effects, you can speed it up, boost the voice. You can always use these effects, last effects, whatever you want to do. It's really a very simple app. Also has a watch component as well you can use. So that one's really nice. I really like that. Honorable mention on that one would be Pocket Casts. I like that one also. The next is a finance app. And I've actually promoted this in another video, and I'll leave a link in the description below or a card so you can take a look at it, but it's MoneyWiz. MoneyWiz is my favorite finance app. I basically use it like a checkbook on my iPad. It also will sync with Mac or Windows. If you have Windows or Mac, it's also on Android. And I think it's about $5. And basically I can put in whatever I'm doing as far as purchasing, or if you have $5, you put in that you spent $5, and it syncs across all of those devices seamlessly. It's really a pretty great app, and it's worked without a problem for years now since I've started using it. The next app is a photo app, and that is Snapseed. If you want to take a photo and share it on social media, but you want it to look better, that's when I use Snapseed. So you can take Snapseed, you can have it access a photo. There's one I took of a PC that I built. That may be in a new video soon, but that's a PC and the processor. You can tweak the levels, and this is a free app from Google. You can tweak the levels, all sorts of things, put a vignette, transform it, change some brush, or put brush strokes over it rather, glamour, glow, grunge, vintage, whatever you want, you can put on there. It really does a great job. So if I want to make it maybe an art HDR scape, it brightened the brights and looks okay, not crazy about that. But you can change this up if you want. Maybe grainy film. You can change it to look however you want and just really tweak your photo to look pretty good. That's also a free app owned by Google also. Next, I thought I'd include a game, and that game is here. It's called Ticket to Ride. And if you haven't played Ticket to Ride, this is really a fantastic board game where you're basically, let me turn this down here. Basically, you're trying to not shop. That's my name on here if you wanted to join me on Game Center. But basically, it's just a simple game. And you're basically trying to connect from one part to the other based on whatever cards you choose. It takes a little bit to explain, but it's a really great game. You can pick up and play, set down, and keep playing, and I really like it. I think it's only $1 or so, and something that myself, my wife, and my kids all really like. So great game there. The 10th app is Myfitnesspal. Myfitnesspal is a great fitness app to keep track of your calories. You can see I haven't done that very well today, but basically you can keep track of your calories, pick whatever you've eaten, put it in there, put whatever exercise you have, your weight, all sorts of things, and it will keep track and help you try and lose weight based on how many calories you have. It's really nice. You can snap a picture of a UPC code, and it will know exactly what that item is, and you just pick how many of that item you ate and enter it in. Really simple way and free app to be able to track fitness and calories. I thought I'd share with you one more application, and probably most of you have heard of, is Soundcloud. Soundcloud is not just handy because it has a ton of free music. There's now a paid version also without advertisements, but SoundCloud has a ton of information on iPhone, Android, or music rather, on iPhone, Android, on any web browser you have, and it's great to grab free tracks from that allow you to use them royalty-free. There's some that I like in particular, some by Ramses B. All sorts of really great tracks in here that I've listened to, and it's just free to listen to. You can follow someone, and I don't remember, my name is probably just Aaron Zolo in here if you wanted to follow me, but basically I just listen to a lot of different type of music, a lot of electronic music, some other styles of music, but definitely worth checking out because, again, it's free. And those are my 10 apps that I actually use the most other than my social media apps. That is the top 10 iPhone apps and mostly Android phone apps as well that you'll actually use. If you have any others that you use more than this or you think are much better than the ones I picked, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.